It's a pleasure to welcome you to this edition of NAFDAC and Your Health, that TV program that preoccupies itself with ensuring that your well-being is guaranteed by informing you on how to patronize only wholesome food products, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment. My name is Amanda Ugo, and I am your host. It's all about food and drug safety on today's edition of the program. While the first segment brings us highlights of the Pharmacovigilance sensitization meeting and roundtable discussion NAFDAC held with stakeholders in the pharmaceutical industry, where stakeholders were intimated about new initiatives that would advance the drive towards a better pharmacovigilance, the second segment will be on the National Fortification Alliance meeting among stakeholders aimed at achieving more guaranteed safety on food. The two segments are ultimately aimed at ensuring the safety of Nigerians as we eat and take drugs to be alive and well. Drugs, a key part of NAFDAC's regulated products, are supposed to be taken to keep the body working perfectly, but circumstances, either intended or unintended, make drugs not to perform the purpose they normally should perform. This gives rise to conditions that are negative to the body. Such conditions are referred to as adverse drug reactions, and they could have far-reaching negative effects. It is in ensuring that such cases do not arise when drugs are taken that the term pharmacovigilance is in place. In her ever proactive initiatives and activities to make sure the mandate of NAFDAC continues to come to fruition under her leadership, the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, has revolutionized the concept of pharmacovigilance. The DG at the Stakeholders Sensitization meeting organized by the agency recently commented on the state of pharmacovigilance in Nigeria before she took the mantle of leadership at the regulatory agency and the exponential development so far achieved.
When I got to NAFDAC in 2017, I knew that pharmacovigilance was not working. If you go to, at that point, because US FDA is also improving in leaps and bounds, but at that point you will see a direct link to the poison center at the FDA, where people report ADRs and things like that. I decided that it's going to change. We had our global benchmarking first visit, 2019, and pharmacovigilance did very badly. Very, very badly. Professor Issa from University of Benin, who is the father of pharmacovigilance in Africa, was invited. I invited him to that audit from WHO, and he felt extremely bad because it goes around the world guiding people about pharmacovigilance, and here we were. That was when I knew, before that I knew, but you cannot change something that was very, very bad overnight. We also went to Morocco and saw the Pharmacovigilance Center, and that underscored, I discussed with pharmacist Ali at that point that our pharmacovigilance is not working and our people are getting the short end of the stick. Because if the community pharmacists, the hospital pharmacists are not made aware of the importance of reporting, then our own population is getting the short end of the stick, in the sense that whatever we are supposed to have gotten in terms of reporting, we're not getting. And talking of SMPCs, package insert or leaflet insert, whatever the details that are supposed to change inside that SMPC will not be changed because we're not reporting. NAFDAC, since its inception, has engaged in some level of activities towards ensuring the safe use of medical products in Nigeria. Like I said, however, in recent times, pharmacovigilance has been brought to the forelight. Pharmacovigilance started working. And this happened more so during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was pharmacist Ali and I that sat in our conference room in Abuja and started talking with Gates Foundation, Ms. Long, Raj Long. And she was the push behind part of what is happening to us now, the improvement that we have had. Because that discussion led to the formation of African Union Smart Safety Surveillance. That was shortly after the first benchmarking. And AU3S, what it's all about is creating a database of ADRs or adverse events following immunization by Africa for Africa, but with sharing opportunities with the world. So the goal of AU3S is to have an African vigibase or vigilance database that can interact or that can be shared with the WHO vigibase. So we started building the pillars around pharmacovigilance at that point. AU3S is made up of 5 African regulatory agencies: Ghana, Nigeria, NAFDAC, SAPRA in South Africa, Ethiopia, and Kenya. That was when we started seeing changes in the pharmacovigilance of NAFDAC. And talking of reporting, we also got the digital tool, the Med Safety app. 2020, October, I believe, we launched it. And that revolutionized the things that we were doing. The reporting of pharmacovigilance improved 10 to 15 times because of digital tool. Things just changed in the Pharmacovigilance Directorate. People you think that cannot work actually started producing superlatively or efficiently. Therefore, during that pandemic, we were meeting every 2 weeks, the AU3S, reporting everything that was taking place in Nigeria. We also have the signal detection, National Signal Detection Group, that was meeting with the other NRAs in their own different section and different groups. And NAFDAC led the reporting. Up till tomorrow, NAFDAC led the reporting, or Nigeria led the reporting of ADRs because of the change that can take place in a particular directorate. Our staff worked their backs out. Mrs. Lemuwa did excellently, training others around the country with the group about the use or how to use Med Safety app.
Pharmacovigilance has since adorned a new toga through the transformative initiatives and concerted efforts of the past few years.
Our reporting improved by 10 to 15-fold. And when WHO came last year, October, actually, it was October 15, 2021, before they finally declared us as maturity level 3. They were shocked on what they saw. First, it is the attitude of the mind, how to really work and work together as a team and think of the customers. It may be my own relative that is going to have ADR. It may be your relative. But if there is no reporting, there is no record, there is no change on SMPC or package insert and things like that. So I just want to thank the group in pharmacovigilance that did excellently well. And WHO commented that they couldn't believe it, that NAFDAC has done so well. Having achieved this feat, the agency is now poised to delve into aspects of pharmacovigilance, which before now we had not ventured into.
NAFDAC's Director of Pharmacovigilance also spoke to participants about the national drug policy vis-a-vis adverse drug reactions.
The National Drug Policy, the statement on PV says, since no active drug is entirely free from adverse reactions, the introduction of an adverse drug reaction reporting system is an essential component of a national healthcare delivery system. Government shall therefore encourage the establishment of adequately equipped pharmacovigilance units nationwide to collect, evaluate, and disseminate relevant information on adverse drug reactions and poisoning. I remember in pharmacy school then, once we got into second year, into pharmacy school proper, the first thing, I think the first lecturer that came, he wrote boldly on the board, medicines, all medicines are poisons. I mean, it was a bit shocking. I mean, we're just in second year. But this underscores what we're doing here today, that all medicines are poisons, and once we keep that in mind, it's easy to follow this. The goal of the National Pharmacovigilance Policy 2020 is to provide a strategic framework for the entrenchment of pharmacovigilance in the healthcare system in Nigeria and to ensure the overall safety in the use of medicines. The objectives of the National Pharmacovigilance Policy is to ensure the effective and prompt reporting of ADRs and other medicine-related problems in healthcare institutions, primary, secondary, and tertiary, public health programs, pharmaceutical industry, and the private sector, including not-for-profit and faith-based organizations. So if you look at it, it covers everything, whether they are donated, whether it's hospital, wherever it is drugs are used. This policy covers it, and we expect that we will get ADR reports from such organizations.
Participants were also intimated about the types of pharmacovigilance inspections and the purposes of each.
There are different types of pharmacovigilance inspection. It could be a system or product-related inspection, routine or for course. It can be a pre-authorization inspection. It can be a post-authorization inspection, announced or unannounced, a re-inspection, or a remote inspection. So when we talk about system or product-related inspections, pharmacovigilance system inspections are designed to review the procedures, the activities, personnel, facilities in place at a company and to determine their compliance with regulatory PV obligations. Then for product-related PV inspections, focuses on how the PV system operates and the product-related PV issues. Note, it does not examine every aspect of a company's PV system, but when we come for a specific product inspection, we are looking at the product, what are the safety concerns, what is related, what has been done, what has not been done. And when should you carry out a product-related inspection? When a potential safety concern has been identified relating to a product. For a regulatory authority to confirm that specific risk minimization measures have been appropriately implemented. And there are focus areas of a system-based PV inspections. When we want to come for a routine system inspection, we're looking at your quality management system, we're looking at your supervision and oversight, we're looking at how you receive, collect, and collate safety data. For contracts and agreements with distributors, contractors, and marketing partners, we want to look at your management and analysis of safety data. We want to look at your risk management system, how you communicate safety issues to the public. And for routine inspections are mostly carried out, routine PV inspections are the most commonly carried out. So depending on what is in place, we're going to be using a risk-based assessment because we cannot do PV inspection for every company. So we're going to also, working with the QPPVs, have a questionnaire that we're going to circulate so that we begin to understand the company products with high risk, their low risk, and their medium risk. So once we're able to do that with you after this meeting, that will be at a scheduled date. We have already established a platform with all the QPPVs. By the time we leave here, what should we do? We should be, as marketing authorization or certificate of registration holder, we should be developing our pharmacovigilance system master file in preparation for the proposed PV inspection. We should establish a PV system with verifiable objective evidences. we need to appoint a QPPV if we don't already have one.
Honestly speaking, pharmacists, especially community pharmacists, like I said, are forward-looking people. We are very passionate about people's health. So it is something that we are deeply interested in. So it won't take much time for them to come on board. I cited the example of the online platform that we have for reporting pharmacovigilance. Even before NAFDAC started this, we have already gone ahead and created a platform so that when pharmacists are working and they have patients and the patients report adverse drug reactions, they can appropriately document it and send it directly to NAFDAC. So it's something that we are in already, and we just hope that we will do better in terms of reporting.
This program today is, for me, is an eye-opener, is something that Nigeria has always wanted to do, which is pharmacovigilance, is all about safety of the patient. And now that we have a roadmap to develop a pharmacovigilance plan for Nigeria, is going to improve the outcomes, for the patient outcomes for our patients, starting from the manufacturer through the supply chain to the individual patient that uses the medication. Today's training, or stakeholder engagement, I would call it, is a step change in the regulatory space for Nigeria.
It's very interesting, and it actually sensitizes us, we that are not professionals, especially those that are non-pharmacists, for us to know that pharmacovigilance has a positive effect in community pharmacy and its marketing too. So it is a good one by NAFDAC to have bring this kind of a program so that we know which company to really buy from. Because a pharmaceutical company or importer that doesn't have the practice of pharmacovigilance is just a kind of a detriment to the society. And we as APMA members and as the president will charge our members. What we have learned there today is for them to know that pharmacovigilance is now very much what we need to kind of understand and make sure we follow.
You have been watching NAFDAC and Your Health. The program is not over yet. We'll be back after the short break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned to NAFDAC and Your Health. Let us move on to our next feature on the program. NAFDAC has always collaborated with and extended hands of fellowship to relevant bodies, as long as the move will be a contribution to the actualization of its mandate to ensure the safety and well-being of the public. The agency forms alliance with associations that share common interests and aim at achieving common goals. Such is the agency's membership of the National Fortification Alliance, an association formed in 2004. The association comprises regulatory industry, NAFDAC, and the Standards Organization of Nigeria, as well as major stakeholders in the food manufacturing industry, like flour millers, vegetable oil producers, salt manufacturers, premix producers, professional bodies, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Institute of Food, Science and Technology, Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria, the media, the academia, consultants, and civil societies. NAFDAC was represented at the meeting by the agency's Director of Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, Mrs. Evan Edwards.
Today, we gather here with a shared purpose to strengthen our commitment to food fortification strategies and its vital role in improving the nutritional status of Nigerians. This meeting holds great significance as we aim to achieve several objectives. Primarily, we will be sharing the results of compliance monitoring exercises on fortification conducted by the designated regulatory agencies. That's NAFDAC, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the FCCPC, in 2022 and 2023 as applicable. These findings will provide us with valuable information on progress made and highlight areas that require focused attention in our food fortification agenda. In addition, the meeting presents us yet another opportunity to receive updates from industry, to hear about current challenges in food fortification from an industry lens, and engage in frank discussions as members of the Alliance in the interest of moving the national food fortification agenda forward. Through sustained, open, inclusive, and constructive dialogue, we can foster collaboration and find innovative solutions to bringing affordable, fortified foods to the Nigerian population. By working together, we can achieve continuous improvements and ensure that fortified foods are accessible to all Nigerians.
The chairman, National Fortification Alliance, also seized the opportunity to reiterate the purpose of the NFA in general and the meeting in particular.
We're here to be able to, mobilize all the relevant stakeholders, which is every one of you here, for effective implementation of food fortification program in Nigeria. In 2016, a major breakthrough was achieved, which was restructuring of the activities of the relevant regulatory bodies to carry out compliance monitoring in the three major areas: factory, distribution, retail, and household level. Results obtained were to be used for improvement opportunities. You heard when Chimaroke spoke about, he'd like to see his results. We are not in NFA to penalize anyone. We're in NFA for improvement opportunities. Remember again what our motive of being in NFA is to be able to come together for effective implementation of food fortification. So that's the key thing we shouldn't forget.
Just as each member of the National Fortification Alliance has its task in the alliance, NAFDAC also has a task that aligns with its primary objective. This is how far we can go on this edition of NAFDAC and Your Health. The program will be back on your screen, same time, same station next week to give you updates on the activities of NAFDAC. Meanwhile, if you have any information on activities that can jettison the efforts of NAFDAC at safeguarding the health of the nation, please contact us.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Remember, importing, producing, distributing, marketing and selling of unwholesome food products, cosmetics and medical equipment are criminal offenses that pose danger to our health. Join us in the fight against this crime. Till we meet again next week, stay safe.